Hi guys, welcome to this module on conditional formatting. What we're going to do is we're going to look at conditional formatting where we're actually formatting the cell colors. We're going to look at icons. We're going to look at creating an automated schedule using the today function, and we're going to look at creating error alerts using conditional formatting. So first of all, doing it ourselves, highlighting a column of figures and selecting different colors. So I've highlighted the total column, and these are the criteria I want. Any figure in that column that is greater than 1000, I want the cell color to go green. Anything greater than 500, I want the cell color to go amber. Anything else, I want it to go red. Now, conditional formatting is on the Home tab. I'm just going to hover over some of these preset formats. You get a live preview if you hover over these data bars or color scales or icon sets. We'll look at the traffic lights in a short while. Basically, there's no point clicking any of these on until you know how to edit these, because these are preset triggers that might not be what you want. So the best way to learn this is to go and do it yourself, and that's what we're going to do now. Click down onto Manage Rules, and we come into the Rules Manager. So we're going to create those three rules from this box. First one, New Rule, and all three rules are going to be this second option, format only cells that contain, and the first one is greater than. So greater than, and I said 1000, so if it's greater than 1000, I want to set the format for the whole cell, not the font, so I'm going to fill green. Click OK to that, and click OK to that. So that's the first one done. New rule, second one down from the top, greater than, this time 500, format amber or yellow, click OK to the color, click OK to the rule. That's the second one done. And last one, new rule, second one from the top. This time you're going to select is less than or equal to, but still 500, so those two are the same figures. One's greater than, one's less than. Format red. OK to the red. OK to the rule. Now, the way this works, it starts at the top and looks at the rule. If it's true, it applies a colour. If it's false, it looks at the next one. If that's false, it looks at the next one. Now, the way this is set at the moment, it's not going to work properly, because it's going to say if a cell is less than 500, go red. Okay, if it's greater than 500, go amber. It's never going to get to the green one because it's either going to be red or amber. So we need to change the order. So the logical order needs to go like this. The green needs to go to the top, and the yellow or amber needs to go in the middle. So then it's going to do this. If it's greater than 1000, go green. Okay, then if it's greater than 500, go yellow. Remember, it'll only come to the yellow if that's false. If it's not greater than 500, it must be less than 500. So go red. That is the correct order. When I click OK to that, the colours will be applied. If I change the duration of that first one, that one will turn red. So that's a different figure now. I'll just undo that. So that's how you do conditional formatting yourself. Now, to use the icon sets, I want to put the traffic light icons on this column. So I'll highlight this column. I go into conditional formatting, select icon sets and traffic lights. Now, you may be thinking that this icon set list has picked up the same rules as we typed, but if you look carefully down the bottom, the 910 has got a green traffic light, and we said don't go green unless it is over 1000. And just to prove it to you, if I change this duration to 25, they will all go red except the top one. So it definitely is not picking up the same rules, and we need to edit the rules. So to do that, we go back into conditional formatting, manage rules. There's the icon sets. We click on edit rule. Now try and avoid going up here because you'll be doing the colors again. This is where you need to edit the rule, and you can see there it's set to %. We need to change that to number, both of these, and then we can type our numbers in these boxes. So 1000 and 500. Now the red still says 0, but if I click on that 1000 cell, it will flick over to 500, so those are the same. Now when we click OK and OK again, we've edited that rule, so now that 910 is correct. It's meant to be amber, it's not over 1000. And you'll have to do that with any of these pre-formatted rules. They've all got their own triggers. Now I just want to do a little example for you there, so I'm just going to type 175. I'm going to highlight those two and pull it down like so, and then I'm going to equals 100, take that formula and pull that down, and then on this one I'm going to put a data bar. So I'm going to data bars, I'm just going to pick any old data bar, that one will do. So basically I've got a duplication of numbers here. I don't want to see these numbers, so I'm going into Conditional Formatting, Manage Rules, edit the rule, and then I'm going to tick this little icon, Show Bar Only. OK, and then OK again. So now I don't see the figures. Now if I change that to 34, 75 has gone all the way across, because basically this is set up to show the biggest bar for the biggest number, but I don't want 75 to go all the way across, so I want it to be representing 100. So 100 goes all the way across, anything less than 100 does not. So I'm going back into there, Manage Rules, edit the rule, and again I need to change these to number, both of them to number. I'm leaving that one on 0 and I'm putting this one to 100. And then hopefully that works. If I click OK to that, and then OK to that, now there you go, 75 is not all the way across. If I type 100, it goes all the way across. If I type 67, it does not. So that's the use of the data bars. Now what I want to do is create what's called an automated schedule using conditional formatting. So I'm going to colour that cell yellow, and in there I'm going to type equals today, which is a function which will bring back the computer date. So that is going to be a moving beast. Every day that will change. So tomorrow that will say the 9th and so on and so on. So that's a moving part. And then I'm going to do a little spreadsheet where I've got item and date due, and we'll do 3 things. We'll do a fire check, a first aid check, and Excel training. Just widen that column a little bit. And then the dates for those. Now if this was a bigger spreadsheet, you'd just highlight the whole area, but this is just one, so a small spreadsheet, so we can just do this. Let's say that is due on the 10th of April, and the first aid check is due on the 25th of April, and the Excel training is due on the 1st of June 19. So we'll highlight our 3 dates, go to Conditional Formatting, Manage Rules. So we're going to do the same 3 conditions that we did earlier when we was colouring the cells in. So new rule, format only cells that contain greater than. Now the difference here is, whereas before we typed 1000 in this box, now we're not going to do that. We're going to go and click on the yellow cell, which has got the formula in it, the dynamic part, the clock, and then we're going to go plus 30. So if anything is over 30 days away from today, that's OK, green, we don't have to do anything. OK, OK. New rule, second one, format of cells that contain greater than. Click on that side to activate it. Click on the date, plus 15. If it's 15 days away, format amber. OK, OK. And then the last one, new rule, format only cells that contain, if it's less than or equal to, and again you click on that yellow cell, plus 15, format red. And once you've done the red, we're clicking OK to that, OK again, and then we change the order around for the same reason that I mentioned before. The green one to the top, the yellow one into the middle. And when you click OK, that should apply a colour of each. Now, you don't really want any reds. Reds would be you've missed a target date. you probably want to work on ambers. As soon as something pops up amber, you need to book it in or act on it. But if I do change that date to the 1st of the 1st 20, that should go green when I press enter, and it won't pop up amber again until it gets within 15 days of the date as that changes. Now that is a very, very common use of conditional formatting where things automatically flag up. Now we'll do one more example. We'll do the error check option. So I'm just going to do a little table, item, quantity, price, total, and then department, admin, finance, sales, and total. And then I'm just going to block this off and make a little table. Put all borders on it to make it nice. I want to colour that total area in yellow and that total area in blue. I want all of this block to be in pounds. Click on pile of coins, and then I'm going to add an item, ink. I've got 10 packs of ink, and now let's say 3 packs of ink, and they're £10 each. So I need to do a little formula here that's going to work that out. So equals quantity times price. Tick. £30 is correct. Pull that down, and then a little formula here, which is auto sum. It's just going to look at these 3 departments. Tick. Now pull that down. Now I'm going to make a mistake on purpose, so I would normally divide this into 3, but let's say I do a typo. So I've got 30 and 32. I'm going to use conditional formatting to flag that red for me, or green if it was balanced. I could do it on the actual cell itself, but I'm going to do it adjacent to it. So conditional formatting, manage rules, but this time when I do new rule, I'm picking the bottom option, formula, and the formula has to be this. So basically that cell equals that cell. If that's true, I want it to go green, format green. Click OK to that, OK again. New rule, formula option. Just move this box out of the way so you can see it. If that cell is not equal to, and this is a symbol for not equal to, this cell, I want it to format to red. OK, OK. Don't need to worry about the order because it's either true or false. Click OK to that, and it should go red. So immediately I would fix that, and it goes green. Now if I pull that down, everything's green. But if I type something there, when I press enter, that should go red. But as you can see, it hasn't gone red. And the reason for that is this. When you go back into manage rules, if I go edit the red rule first of all, you can see that there's dollar signs locking that first line. So I'm clicking into the cell reference, and I'm pressing the F4 function key until those dollar signs come off on both of them. And then I would need to do the same thing on the green rule. Edit the rule very carefully, press the F4. Don't use your arrow keys to navigate around this box because it actually puts a cell reference in usually when you do that. If I click OK to that, then OK again. Now it's showing an error message. But if I change that to 1, and now it's balanced. Give it an item, ink as well. And that's a few examples of conditional format, and that's the end of this module. I hope you've liked this module, and if you did, could you subscribe below? Thank you very much.